Good afternoon. My name is Edward Sants, and I'm here to talk to you today about MoneyBuffer. But before I do, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about financial exclusion. The UK has a serious and growing challenge. 17% of adults use credit every day for essentials. That's 9 million people in our country who rely on credit just to survive. Now, despite people desperately needing access to credit, we are excluding them. We're excluding 6 million people from accessing credit each year. 3 million of those are excluded because financial institutions are lazy with how they use data and how they score for credit. Then, to compound this issue, a recent money and pensions survey showed that 1/3 of all young people aren't even being given a meaningful financial education. And this means that we're creating a generation of young people who need credit to survive. They cannot access it, and they aren't even equipped to make a sensible financial decision in the first place. Now, what is the output of all of this? Well, customers are forced to use ultra-high cost credit. There were 2 million people using payday loans in 2012. That was up to 5 million people in 2019, up a staggering 150%. And I can only imagine what the number is now following the COVID pandemic. The challenge of financial exclusion is clear, and today we have an opportunity to actually do something about it. Now, financial exclusion is an issue that all of you should care about, because by improving people's financial well-being, we improve mental health, with 50% of mental health related hospital admissions also having money stress. We save money, not just from lowering borrowing costs, but also from improving mental health, with mental health issues costing someone up to £800 a year. We boost the economy with 69p in every pound reinvested into our country, and we increase national productivity. A Barclays survey showed that 11% of people have a drop in productivity due to financial stress. So who are we going to help? Well, we're going to help the financially squeezed. And I've done a lot of research to understand who these customers are. And these customers are likely to be renting. They work, but have low incomes, which they use to support their families, but they also depend on credit just to survive. Unsurprisingly, they have to focus on the here and now and don't have time to plan for the future, which means they are often over-indebted. We're excluding these customers, but I believe we can help them. There are over 3 million of them that we can support by embracing how we use data in the banking industry. This includes 765,000 social housing customers who are excluded from credit just because of where they live. And it's 960,000 people who pay their council tax, who pay their utility bills, but cannot access credit because they don't own their own home. And it's 1.5 million other people where we could use open banking to better understand their financial health and open up credit to them when they need it. Now, I know it's easy for us to sit here and talk about these challenges on a slide on a screen. But imagine always having to worry about paying your rent despite working a 40-hour week, or having to save up for months just to buy your child a Christmas present, or having a collection agency strong-arm you into paying a debt that you just cannot afford. It is really, really tough. And we as an industry should feel obliged to do something about this. And in MoneyBuffer, I really think we have the opportunity to actually do something that makes a difference to these customers' lives. And for me, that is really exciting. There is a clear gap between what customers need and what the financial industry is offering them. So I want to introduce MoneyBuffer to help financially excluded customers. Customers need access to mainstream credit regardless of their social status. They need more control over their repayments to protect them from high charges. They deserve fair, clear, and structured products to help them manage their money. And we as a banking industry should do better with providing education and support to our most financially vulnerable customers. MoneyBuffer is going to achieve this through three unique elements. Firstly, we're going to build a new type of product that's not on the market today. A line of credit decouples borrowing from a current account and allows customers to draw down on small amounts of money over a fixed period of time. By decoupling the credit decision from the point at which customers need the cash, they can instantly access the money when they need it and have complete control over how they repay it. We're then going to use open banking in two ways to take MoneyBuffer a step further and really revolutionize the experience for our customers. Firstly, we're going to use open banking to verify data directly from other financial institutions when making credit decisions. This means we can safely lend to more customers, drive faster decisions, reduce defaults, and open borrowing up to millions of other customers. Then we're going to use open banking to revolutionize how we offer financial education and support. It should be easy to make a financial decision, and banks should focus on helping customers in difficulty instead of recovering their debt. But currently, banks only have access to a narrow view of customer information, making offering education and support very hard. But with open banking, we can aggregate all customer information into one place and provide meaningful support to those who are most vulnerable. Now, to develop MoneyBuffer, I wanted to understand the issues that are facing our customers in a little more detail. So I've spoken to a charity in East London to get a little closer to the stories of those needing help. And based on those conversations, I've created an illustrative example of how MoneyBuffer might work. Meet Joseph. He lives in West London. He often runs out of money before payday and sometimes needs a little extra to cover those monthly costs. Previously, he might have taken out a payday loan because he hasn't been able to access a mainstream overdraft. This month, though, MoneyBuffer has used open banking to look at his overall financial position, and he's opened a £500 line of credit. As we can see here, he is £100 overdrawn, but luckily he still has £500 in his MoneyBuffer. He asks to draw down £200 and repay it over the next 6 months. MoneyBuffer shows him how much that will cost him each month and when he will have paid it off by. He goes ahead and requests the money. But before he can draw down on his money, we offer him tips for saving money, we offer him access to tools for information and education, and we even offer him a money help session in one of our local branches. He goes ahead and books a money help session in his local branch. Now we can see the cash is instantly into his current account. His MoneyBuffer has decreased. We remind him how much he has left to pay and how he can save money by paying it off early. We even remind him when his money help session is so he remembers to turn up. Joseph has loved this. MoneyBuffer has given him all the tools he needs to make a confident choice and then made it very clear what the implications of that choice will be. There's no need for Joseph to go back to payday lenders now. Now, there are two clear challenges with MoneyBuffer. The first is how we deliver such an innovative solution, and the second is how we drive uptake in the communities that would benefit the most. Now, we know banks aren't always the best at driving innovative solutions. The MoneyBuffer will be delivered through fintech partnerships. Luckily, at TSB, we're pretty good at this. We've already delivered brilliant products to our customers through partnerships. For example, AppTap, which is a bill switching service, or Wealthify, which is an online wealth management provider. Now, there are several providers in the market already who offer enhanced credit scoring using open banking that could easily integrate with TSB. And there are companies such as OpenWorks that help support financially vulnerable customers by using open banking in the collections process. But more importantly, how do we drive engagement in the most impacted communities? Now, by partnering with community-based organizations, we can work through trusted sources to bring MoneyBuffer directly to those who may need it the most. And as I said, I've spoken to Money A&E, who provide money support in Newham in London, and it's clear to us that a community-based delivery not only works, but is the preferred way forward for MoneyBuffer. Finally, what do we want to achieve with MoneyBuffer? Well, I'd like to achieve 4 things, really. One is lend to 300,000 customers who are currently excluded from accessing credit. I want to lend to 250,000 customers who are currently paying excessive fees from payday lenders. I want to support 300,000 customers with their financial education and their planning for their long-term goals. And I want to see no material increase in fraud or impairment for the bank. But really, if we achieve our goals of lending to over 500,000 people and avoid them paying 300% interest on their borrowing, I hope to be able to put up to £1 billion a year back in the pockets of those people who need it the most. That is what MoneyBuffer is really about. Now, I'm really excited about this proposition. I think it is rare that you get a chance to work on something that both supports our customers, but also improves commercial returns. However, to be a real success, we need this approach to be adopted across the wider financial system and not just by one bank. Winning this competition would go a long way towards shining a light on the challenges of financial exclusion in our country and showing that there is a commercially viable solution to it out there. Thank you for your time, and I hope you've enjoyed MoneyBuffer.